For thousands of years, it's been one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. A complex writing system from a super advanced civilization that has been utterly silent. We're talking about the script of the Indus Valley Civilization. And folks, after a century of silence, it might finally be ready to speak. Take a look at this. It's a seal carved over 4 millennia ago. It's a masterpiece of tiny art. But those symbols at the top? For 100 years, they've been a complete black box. We see these incredible animals, we see intricate patterns, but we've had no clue what story they're trying to tell us. But what if the solution wasn't some impossibly complex cipher? What if the key was something much, much simpler? A kind of word puzzle that, honestly, a lot of us already know. The entire theory, it all comes down to one central idea. A really clever linguistic trick that turns simple pictures into complex sounds. It's called the rebus principle. And it's so smart. Instead of a picture meaning the thing it shows, it means the sound of the word for that thing. You know what? Let me just show you. It'll make perfect sense with an example. So imagine you see a drawing of a bee right next to a drawing of a leaf. Your first instinct, your brain just goes, insect, plant, right? But with the rebus principle, you gotta just ignore what the image means. Instead, you just say the words out loud. Bee, leaf. Put them together, and you get belief. See? The pictures are just a code for sounds. So the huge question is, could the Indus people have been doing the exact same thing 4,000 years ago? And this is where things get really fascinating. When researchers applied this principle, a very specific theme started to pop up, over and over again. Not kings or gods, but something far more practical, a world built entirely on metal. Let's start with this symbol right here. It's known as Indus sign 292. Visually, it's pretty simple, right? It just looks like a curved or bent line with a few little marks around it. Now, the word for bent in the ancient languages of the region was kutila. Remember that sound? And here's the aha moment. That word for bent, kutila, sounds almost identical to the word for bronze, katil. It's a homophone, two totally different words that just happen to sound the same. And boom, there's the rebus principle in action. The scribe wasn't writing about something that was bent. They were using the picture of something bent as a clever, phonetic way to write the word bronze. All of a sudden, a simple abstract sign becomes a key technical term. And the pattern just keeps building. Look at the powerful bison you see on so many of these seals. The word for a wild bison was sarana. Well, it just so happens that sarana was also the word for a smithy or a furnace. The picture of the animal represents the workshop where the metal was actually forged. And the pattern continues. The word for an ox or a bullock was barad. And what does that sound like? Barata, a word for a mixed metal alloy, probably a blend of things like copper, zinc, and tin. The animal is a symbol for the very material being produced. So wait a minute. If the script is just full of words for bronze, smithies, and alloys, what does that tell us about the civilization itself? Well, it opens up a whole world of artisans, accountants, and long-distance traders. A complex, bustling economy just emerges from the script. We're not just seeing words for metal, but also for the people and systems that managed it all. We're talking blacksmiths, metal casters, accountants keeping ledgers, maritime trade guilds, even words that might mean minted coins and the helmsman steering the cargo boats. The whole shebang. So when you see these two seals side by side, you're not just looking at a bison and a mythical unicorn. If this theory is right, you're looking at a stamp for a smithy or a furnace on the left and a seal related to valuable maritime cargo on the right. This was a civilization built on making things and shipping them. So how did they manage all this trade? Let's look at another symbol. This one, sign 342, is a simple picture of the rim of a jar. The word for it was kansha. And yep, you guessed it, using the rebus principle, kanka sounds very similar to garni, a word for a supercargo or scribe, and karana, the word for an accountant. An ancient text even says that when lies and inaccuracies began to appear in trade, scholars created an accounting system called karanam. This symbol is powerful stuff. It suggests they were keeping meticulous records of their wealth. Now, this interpretation of the script as a metalworker's lexicon is compelling enough on its own, but the final piece of evidence, oh man, it connects these Bronze Age artisans to a completely different time and place in a way that is just staggering. Take a listen to this quote. It's from an ancient Tamil poem, the Purananuru. It talks about a line of rulers who came from a city called Tuvarai or Dwaraka, which had massive walls, made of copper, a city known for its metalwork. The poem is specifically about the Valar clan who lived in southern India thousands of years after the Indus Valley civilization declined. And yet, their own oral history, written down in this poem, traces their ancestry all the way back to a northern copper fort city. And this is where it gets really wild. The poem states that 49 generations of Valar rulers passed between their origin in Dwarka and the poet's time. Historians have a solid anchor date for a king around 190 CE. So if you work backwards, using a historical estimate of about 50 years per ruling generation, those 49 generations take you all the way back to around 2260 BCE, right in the heart of the Indus Valley's Bronze Age. The cultural memory seems to have survived for millennia. So we're left with this really provocative thought. This script, which has been silent for so long, might not be about kings or priests or epic poems. It might just be the detailed, practical, and incredibly sophisticated ledger of a civilization of master artisans and traders. Could the entire story of this ancient society be written, quite literally, in a language of metal?